G'day, and welcome back to Headlight Restoration Perth, where learning the process is all about becoming a professional, one headlight at a time. So, what I'm working on today is that 2004 Toyota Camry. As you can see, there's all these little splits and cracks on the lens itself. They're not scratches. That was what I did is I used a clear, but it was, I think I might have put it on a little too thick, or I'm not really sure. So, and I'm wondering if that's the reason for those cracks. So today I'm going to see if it is the process or the product. So first off, we're going to tape off here, and this is a really important part of the process. So what you want to do is first have that quality tape. At the minute I'm just using the blue painter's tape. I will be moving to a more professional like a car finishing tape. So but as I'm only just looking at the products and what to use, I've had no product with this, but problems with this one. But I believe that by using the product that was designed for being on the paint of vehicles, it's going to eliminate any mishaps. And as you can see there's little paint chips and everything off here, where this is my own vehicle, so I'm not particularly concerned. But if there was paint like that on that was chipped on your customer, before you apply any tape, anything, I would be taking photos, be accountable, and make sure that you make the customer fully aware that there is potential for paint coming off and everything before you go ahead. There is a practice that you can do that I will add in a future video on how to sort of like protect yourself from those points, just using the tape, and a little trick that I've learnt. The thing is, I've learnt it since creating this video, so I will add it into the next one where the opportunity comes. So like when you do the taping off, the immediate one that goes around the light, you want that to be double layered, and I say double layered for this job because I'm at the moment doing everything by hand. So I just do all the wet sanding in that. I don't have any other tools. I because I'm starting out on a budget with this whole business venture and letting the business work for itself. So I will be getting tools and that in the future, as in like a cordless drill that I've got. So I'm just going to buy the components for that, so I can do a sanding process using the drill, and then buy a little hand polisher and things like that as well. But like I say, for this one, you just want to do the double layer directly around the initial headlight, just for the protection when you're rubbing. And then you want to go at least minimum another 3 to 4 inches away from that headlight for the process when you do the spraying and that of the clear. So just to give you that, and the extra protection when you're sanding and everything, because when you are using that power tool, if it bites, at least you're giving yourself that much extra run when if it does. So, and when you do this, like you can see that I've done it from a clockwise motion, and the reason I've done that is because you'll see when I'm taking it off at the very end, it should all come off together because of the overlap and everything. I did use a really heavy grade on this one because I had the clear on it already, which I had to get off. So I was doing it by hand, and I was using the 220 grit for that process. And you've got to remember, because you're doing it by hand, it's not as strong. So even so, I'm using the 220 for the hand sanding. That could be like a 320 or a 400, so to speak, if you're using the cordless drill and everything like that. So yeah, so it's dependent on the process. And as you can see, I was pointing there to the tips of my fingers. So my fingers were like probably about 5 mil, quarter of an inch past the sandpaper. So I was running the tip of my fingers along the body of the car, and so the sandpaper wouldn't be hitting it. So at the moment, I'm just going to go through this whole process again. And, rather than just calling it a process and what it is, so I'm just going to call what I do sand and shine, because it is starts off with the whole sanding process to bring everything back to uniform, get rid of all the oxidization that could be existing on the vehicle headlight. And then you're going through the grits and everything like that. And I do finish with a polish before I apply the clear. So I'm just going to call what I do sand and shine. So if you hear me say the sand and shine, you know I'm just talking about the actual process. So the sand and shine, it does have the three major components. It does start with that sanding, where we are taking off that top layer from all the damage of the sun and bugs, just wear and tear of highway driving, things like that. So I will put a before photo of the way this was before. It was like this because when you actually see the beginning, I'm surprised the lights went through it at all, to be honest. So, but I did try this one. I failed on the first effort because of it. I'm going to see if it was the application of the product or if it was the process, because when I did it originally, I wasn't doing the polishing, and I wasn't doing the multiple steps of the sanding. All I did was the 400 grit, the 600 grit, and then I used alcohol to clear the surface, and then applied the clear. Okay, so on the other side of the vehicle is that process done, and I'll show you the results for the outcome at the end for that process and the process that I'm adopting now, because it's my knowledge is growing, so it's always creating a new process until I get the one that I'm looking at. And I will be going to the power tools, so it's still going to mature into another process as well. So as you can see, I'm doing probably on the 400 grade now, after I've gone over that 220 to get rid of all the clear that I did have on there. So don't be afraid if you stuff up and everything. It's only a matter of starting again. You're not damaging anything. You're just starting again till you get it right. So this is going to be a big tell for me if it is the process or the product. That being said, it is quite a generic plastic UV protecting, supposed to be yellow preventing process. that's available. But the thing is, it's just a generic. It's not 100% designed for headlights. So what I'm learning, and I have ordered the Maguire Keep Clear headlight coating, because that is designed for headlights. So we're going to get a better product just for that. But this is my vehicle, and so I'm doing some testing just to see, just for the sake of the product, because if you really know how to apply a product, the product sort of like might be beneficial for the more person with the knowledge of the application and how thick and things like that. And obviously I might have put it on a little heavier than I should have for this actual grade of product. So I don't believe it has a self-leveling thing in it or anything like that. So now that I've got rid of all the clear that I applied, I'm just starting all over again. So it's not going to be a problem after making an error, and then you can just happily just do the whole thing all over again. So if you're liking any of the information, or if it's useful in that, give the channel a like and subscribe. I'm wrapped at the minute. I've got 7 subscribers, but that means the world to me at the minute. So if anyone feels that this is beneficial to them, or they might want to leave a comment, give me some input, what they find that might have worked for them in things like this, like what kind of clear that they might be using or recommend. But I'm going to use that Maguire and give that a bit of a whirl, because the product itself, the reviews that I've been finding, it seems to be the way to go. So I will get that, and the next video I do will probably be featuring that. So like I say, like, subscribe, and please let's build a headlight restoration little community here where we can learn from each other. So if there's anything that you find that's worked for you, I'd love to hear about it, because it's I don't know it all. I'm far from knowing it all, and if you can help with with my process becoming a quicker one, I'd muchly appreciate all the input you have. So add the comment and create the community. So I'm liking the fact here that we can keep on going with the clear. It's like I'm going up in the grades rather than just the 2. I wouldn't have normally gotten this clear just with the 4 and the 6. So the fact that just by going up and using multiple grades, so I'm going to, with this one, I did start at the 220 just to get rid of the initial clear, but then I'm going back to the 4, the 600 grade, and then I've gone up to a 1200, which this will probably be, and then the 3000. So that is the 3000 grade there. That's the grey one. So I'm also looking for great product recommendations, because I'm going to be using the 3-inch buffing and sanding disc. This one by hand, I was actually starting to rub through the product, and I could see the blue backing coming through. So any information that you find that might have worked for you, like I'm here in Perth, Australia, so I don't have the luxury of just going down the store like you can in America with multiple things, So finished off in the 3000. So after the 3000 grade, so as you can see, I've just sprayed on just a glass cleaner. So, and I've let that get in there because you still got the porous surface. So with any of the grit and everything still in there, I've just sprayed that on, heavy coating of the window cleaner. So then it goes into the grooves and just drops with the gravity, just pulls all the contaminants out of the lens. And which makes it a lot easier. You don't have to just spray and wipe. Like I'd put a heavy coat on, let the product pull it out, and then wipe it off. So now get it all clear. So that's reasonably clear now. Like that's twice as clear as it ever was when I was going to the 600 and then applying the clear. I did get a product called the Maguire Plastx, Plastx, which is designed for the plastic coating. So I'm just trying this out as well. And as I'm doing it by hand, obviously I'm not going to get the result that I would have got with the buffer that I will get once the business starts establishing itself and starts paying its own way. So I'm just using what I've got at the minute. So just the 220 for this one, the 4, the 6, the 12, the 3000, and then then I'm going to go to the polishing stage, and we're going to get that light to the best that I can by hand before applying the polish. I mean the clear coating. So, and you can see right now, that's not a bad effort. I'm pretty happy with that, considering when I was putting on the clear on the previous process of the double sanding and then the clear, that was the hazy. You couldn't really see through it. So now that I'm applying the clear, I'm again, just like taping off, I'm just going to do the clockwise motion around the edging just to get that, and then go back and then infill the center. Just get to that level where you're sort of like happy with the coverage, but it's not too much. And there you go. So that's the result from that, and that's so much better. So yeah, much happier with that polishing and the multi-grade before doing the clear. So we'll come over to the other side and I'll show you the other one. So if any of this has helped and given you any information, as you can see that was an internal issue with the light. So if this has given you a bit of an idea of what the process means to use the whole polishing, the 3000 grit before, opposed to just that's good. And like you can see there, the benefit of taping in that clockwise is when you take it off, bang. So this is the original. This is the 4, the 6, and the clear. It's not a bad job, but when you look at the difference between just that and then going to the 12, the 3000, the polishing before the clear, look at the difference. That is night and day. So if this helps, look at that. So like, subscribe, and let's make this channel a good one.